Hello, I hope you're safe and well. We've been in lockdown for longer than expected, and it hasn't been without its challenges. A couple of years ago, I was working from home on my new business, and I found myself unexpectedly living on my own. So I would like to share with you today the tips and strategies I put together to get through that time. The presentation will take about 10 minutes, and you will need pen and paper. First, let's take stock. Look at what we have. We have family, relatives, friends. We have a roof over our heads, electricity, internet, and electronic devices. We have means to stay connected to our friends and family and the outside world. We also have sadness, grief, anger even, over our shattered plans. It's important to acknowledge this. We're not giving one more weight than the other, we simply acknowledge what's there. What we have mostly is uncertainty, and we're likely to have more uncertainty than ever before. So now is a good time to accept, embrace even, uncertainty. The truth is that life itself is completely and totally uncertain. Now that we've laid all this on the table, let's look at another aspect of the time we're living in. The days stretching as they are, it does look like we have nothing to do. If we look more closely though, it could be that we don't want to do anything. So what is it that we don't want to do? Well, it depends, and it's very personal. Let's grab pen and paper and make a list of what we don't want to do. Write everything down. Don't hold back. This list is personal to you and nobody else will see it. This exercise is between you and yourself. I have a question. Are you an early bird or a late night owl? Again, there is no right or wrong answer here. It's about when you are at your best with complex tasks. For me, it's before 11 a.m. or early afternoon. And I've worked for executives who come to life from 5 p.m. and thrive between 9 p.m. and 1 a.m. We're all different, and it's important to acknowledge what works for you. So, we have a list of things we don't want to do. We have an understanding of how we go through the day. Time to get organized. Take a piece of paper in landscape and draw 5 columns, Monday to Friday. First, write down your bedtime. What is your ideal bedtime to have an optimum day? Then, write down your getting up time. What works best is to keep those times similar throughout the week. I know that I like to take my time for breakfast, and although I'm less fussed about lunch, I've discovered that I need to take an hour in the middle of the day to eat something and unwind. Otherwise, I've learned through experience that the afternoon is wasted. Once those times are blocked in your calendar, and add those things you don't want to do. Now, when I look at my list, I find 2 categories. There are things I don't want to do, and I know I'll enjoy doing them once I get going. And there are things I don't want to do and I don't like doing. They need to be done anyway. So I plan them first, and they go in before 11 a.m. I give them 20 minutes, and I alternate with things that, to me, are fun. Those I give 40 minutes. I would say don't allow less than 10 minutes, and it's fine to give an hour to something that you know is going to take that time. What works is to be honest with yourself. Do plan time to get out and get some fresh air. And do plan to exercise. Not all of us are in our 20s and able to touch our toes gracefully. However, rotating your wrists and ankles 5 times clockwise and 5 times anti-clockwise is a simple exercise and it will make a difference. Same with your shoulders. It doesn't have to be massive, it needs to be right for you. Now, what we may find is there is the time that we consider to be the right time and the reality of how long a task takes. So be realistic with your planning. You may have noticed that the week has 7 days and I haven't mentioned Saturdays and Sundays. The biggest learning from living on my own was to make weekdays and weekends distinct. It became clear very early on that I would become crazy if I couldn't differentiate the days of the week and define the weekends clearly. The challenge was to make the weekends as appealing as when I was in a relationship. There's a book I only read on Saturdays and Sundays, and I really look forward to it during the week. There are a couple of games I only play at the weekend. One of my great weekend pleasure is to have a leisurely start to the day. I really enjoy taking my time and I don't feel guilty about it. It's the weekend. I also really like to spend time at the allotment without looking at my watch, and weekends are for calls and time with the family. In the winter, there are long walks I like to do on Saturdays or Sundays, and I've got a few which are kept for those days and I just alternate them. I've also discovered, through trial and error, that the cooking that hasn't been done at the weekend will not get done during the week. So I plan my meals when I plan my shopping and then I plan the cooking. And the weekend is also the time to be kind to myself. I have dry hands and I really take time to apply moisturizer to my hands and really massage it in. It's important to take time to do things you enjoy. Whatever works for you, make your weekends a time to look forward to. So, we've got our days organized, all 7 of them. So what's next? First, a pat on the back. You have made it so far in the lockdown, and you deserve to be acknowledged and to acknowledge yourself for this. You've given yourself a structure. Do acknowledge yourself for that too. Then be kind to yourself. There will be days when you've had a dreadful night and you can't think straight. That's okay. Make that day a light day and move whatever tasks you can to tomorrow. Take one day at a time. Do what you like doing, start little, and see how the day goes. And thank you for watching, and let me know if you have any questions. Bye.